We often treat the job search like this fire alarm situation.
Yeah, like a temporary crisis.
Exactly. You frantically update your CV, spend a few super tense weeks applying, and then just breathe out once you land something.
Right. But what's really interesting is that our sources, they're pretty much all on the same page here.
Which is?
That career preparation isn't a sprint. It's, well, they call it a lifelong marathon of strategy, grit, and reinvention.
A marathon. I like that. So it doesn't matter if you're a fresh graduate or, someone making a big career shift later on?
Not at all. The job market's always changing, right?
Yeah.
So you don't just need one map for one trip. You need like an unbreakable blueprint, something evergreen for constant evolution.
Okay, so that's our mission today then. To give you that shortcut, we're trying to cut through all the noise and pull out the evergreen gold.
And we're looking at a pretty wide range of stuff.
Yeah, really eclectic. We've got insights from big names like Simon Sinek, some deep career advice from Harvard, even lessons from movies like The Pursuit of Happyness.
Plus those really tactical, almost cutting-edge tips you see flying around on places like X, formerly Twitter.
Right. So we've kind of boiled all this down into maybe a 3-part system, like an operating system for your career.
Exactly. And we have to start where every interaction begins.
Yeah.
Establishing your value.
Which means the resume, right? First stop.
Yep. And the big idea here from experts like Christine Nepal in our source material is that your resume should absolutely not be just a history list.
Okay, so not here's what I did.
No. Think of it purely as a sales pitch in disguise. It's your value proposition, full stop.
That makes sense, especially when you hear that the average corporate job gets something like 250 applications. Yours needs to stand out.
It needs to pop like fireworks, as one source put it. But even before a human sees it, there's the first hurdle, the machine.
The ATS.
Applicant tracking system, exactly. And if you send in something generic,
it gets eaten for breakfast.
Pretty much. The ATS just weeds it out. So ruthless tailoring is key. You have to weave in those keywords, data-driven, cross-functional teams, whatever they mention.
But not just stuffing them in, right? It has to sound natural, like you're mirroring the language in the job description itself.
Precisely. You're reverse engineering what they're looking for. And actually, there are tools for this.
Oh, yeah.
Things like JobScan. You can use them to score your resume's match before you even hit send. It takes the guesswork out.
Okay, that's a solid tactical tip. So beyond the basics, professional font, keep it to one page.
Yeah.
Usually the real strategic punch comes from quantifying things.
Absolutely. This is where you shift from just listing duties to proving your impact.
So instead of managed a team.
Right. You need to say how you managed it and what happened. Led a 5-person team to boost sales 35% in Q3. See the difference?
Big difference. That's concrete. Recruiters must love that.
They do. Data makes it real. And this points to maybe the most crucial lifetime hack from all the sources.
Which is
start tracking your metrics now, today. Even small wins.
Like what?
Maybe you reduced errors by 20% via process tweaks. Just log it somewhere. Keep a running list.
So when you need to update your resume later, you're not scrambling to remember or invent numbers?
Exactly. The evidence is already there.
Okay, but what about people pivoting careers? Or new grads? They might not have those juicy Q3 sales metrics. How do they sell themselves?
Good question. That's where 2 things come in. The power summary and focusing on transferable skills.
Power summary?
Yeah, it's like a strategic hook right at the top. 3 lines, max, who you are, what problems you solve, like what you crush, and why you're the specific fix for this company.
And the key is keeping it strategic, not just generic fluff.
Definitely avoid what the sources call ChatGPT fluff. It sounds okay, but it lacks specifics, lacks those results we talked about. It feels impersonal.
Got it. And for the new grad without paid experience?
Harvard's advice is clear. Highlight transferable skills with factual examples.
So maybe not manage budget for prom committee, but
more like organize campus event for 200 attendees, successfully raising $5K in sponsorship. Focus on the impact, the skills demonstrated, organization, fundraising, leadership.
It reminds me of that lesson from The Pursuit of Happyness. It's not just about paid hours, is it? It's about showing relentless proof of your potential.
That's the heart of it. Relentless proof of potential.
I love that phrase. So the big takeaway for this first part seems to be treat your resume like a living portfolio.
Yes. Not a static document you dust off only when you're job hunting.
Update it quarterly maybe, add those micro wins as they happen.
That's the marathon mentality starting right there.
Yeah.
Constant, low-level maintenance.
Okay, so once that living portfolio, that sales pitch, actually gets you noticed and opens the door, what's next?
Then you move into the active phase. And this is where research becomes what our sources call your unfair advantage.
Unfair advantage. Okay,
Yes.
so we're talking research like a detective.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And just rereading the job description, that's like absolute minimum. Table stakes.
You have to go deeper.
Way deeper. Dig into company news, recent product launches, check out Glassdoor for the real scoop on culture.
So you can walk into the interview and say something relevant, like, hey, I saw your latest announcement on X, and that really connects with my experience and Y.
Exactly. It shows you've done your homework. But here's a strategic twist.
Huh?
Don't just research their company. Research their competitors.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because if you can talk intelligently about the market landscape, maybe mention something like, I see rival X is doing well in this area, but I had an idea about how you could potentially edge them out with Z strategy.
Wow. Okay. That signals you're thinking bigger picture, like a potential partner, not just someone looking for a job description to fill.
Precisely. It shows strategic thinking.
That feels pretty advanced. Is there a risk of sounding, I don't know, arrogant? Like you know better than them?
It's all in the delivery. You frame it as a thought, an observation, maybe a question. I was curious about how you're positioning against rival X. It shows curiosity and foresight, not arrogance.
Okay. And this deep dive applies to the interviewers too. Googling them.
Absolutely. Look them up on LinkedIn. See if you have shared connections, what they've been posting about. And here's a really cutting-edge hack.
Go on.
Using AI, like ChatGPT, to simulate interview questions based specifically on that interviewer's recent posts or professional background.
Whoa. Wait. Using AI to tailor prep based on the interviewer's LinkedIn? That's intense.
It's definitely next level prep. But think about it, it's just analyzing publicly available data to make yourself hyper relevant to that specific person.
Makes sense. It's advanced preparation.
And this kind of prep starts even before you apply. Audit the job description. What are the absolute must-haves versus the nice-to-haves? Do a quick skills gap analysis for yourself.
And if you spot a gap.
Address it. Find a free Coursera course or something similar and get that certification before you apply. Show them you take initiative.
Okay, so you've done the research, you've maybe plugged a skill gap. Now you're actually in the interview, whether it's in person or virtual, phase 2.
Phase 2, ace the interview. And the mindset shifts here. You become the narrator.
The narrator, meaning...
Meaning interviews aren't interrogations, they're conversations where you guide the focus. Your goal is to sell your strengths using enthusiastic, structured stories.
And the tool for that is the STAR method, right? Situation, task, action, result. Most people have heard of it.
They have. But knowing the acronym isn't the same as using it effectively. The biggest mistake people make, being too vague, especially on the action and result parts.
Okay, give us a really strong STAR example. Knock our socks off.
All right. Instead of just rambling about a tough project, you structure it instantly. Okay, the situation S was a critical product launch, but the deadline suddenly got pulled forward by 2 weeks. My task, T, was to get a stressed, fragmented team aligned and delivering. My action A was implementing mandatory 15-minute daily stand-ups and using a shared digital task board for transparency. The result, we actually delivered the project 2 days early and came in 15% under budget.
Boom. Clear, concise, packed with impact. That structure makes it undeniable.
It gives the interviewer everything they need, quickly and powerfully.
Okay, quick hacks then for those really common, tricky questions. First, the classic, tell me about yourself. How do you nail that in, say, 60 seconds?
Keep it FET.
Oh.
FIT. Frame your relevant background, highlight your key impact or accomplishments, and tie it directly to this specific role you're interviewing for.
Frame, impact, tie, FET. Got it.
And the dreaded, what are your weaknesses? Question. You can't say perfectionism.
Oh God, no. Please don't. The key here is demonstrating self-awareness and, crucially, growth.
So flip it.
Exactly. Talk about a real past weakness, but immediately follow with how you recognized it and what concrete steps you took to improve. Quantify if possible.
Like?
Well, I used to have a tendency to micromanage project details. I realized it wasn't efficient and could stifle creativity. So I took a delegation training course, and since implementing those techniques, I've cut my direct oversight time by about 40%, freeing me up for more strategic work.
See? Real weakness, concrete action, positive result.
Much better.
Much better. And don't forget the basics, the logistics. They still matter hugely.
Like being on time.
15 minutes early, always. Even for virtual interviews, log in early, test your tech. Camera on, mic working.
Good point. And nonverbals count too, even on screen.
Absolutely. Eye contact, look at the camera, not just the screen image. Open posture, smile, and dress appropriately, maybe one notch above what you perceive the company's daily norm to be.
Okay. And then usually at the end, they ask if you have questions. What's a power move there?
Don't jump straight to vacation policy or benefits. Show you're engaged strategically. Ask something like, what do you see as the biggest challenge this team or the company will face in the next 6 months?
That shows genuine interest and that you're thinking ahead.
Exactly. Curiosity and strategic thinking.
Okay, we've covered a lot on the resume and the interview preparing for a specific opportunity, but you started by saying this is a marathon blueprint.
Right. So now we need to zoom out and talk about the long game, the continuous professional maintenance required for that career resilience.
Which brings us to networking.
Networking, which one source perfectly called the hidden door.
Hidden door.
Yeah. LinkedIn's Andy Young put it well. Your network won't ignore you like a CV might. So many great jobs, especially higher level ones, get filled through relationships long before they ever get posted publicly.
Okay, that makes sense. But networking can feel kind of transactional or awkward. Where do you even start?
One good starting point from Forbes' Kathy Caprino is simple. List your top 50 helpers, people who've influenced or supported your career in some way.
50, okay. And then just ask them for help.
Not immediately. That's the key mistake. The first step is just to reconnect. And crucially, share value first.
Share value. Like what?
Maybe send them an article you saw that's relevant to their work.
Yeah.
Or congratulate them on a recent success you noticed. Give before you think about asking.
Okay, that feels more natural, less transactional.
And there's actually a structured way to do this outreach effectively. It's called the 6-point email hack.
6 points. Tell me more.
It keeps it professional and clear. Point 1, greeting. 2, context while you're reaching out now. 3, value add. This is that crucial give, like sharing that article. 4, the ask, keep it small and easy, like a quick 15-minute virtual coffee. 5, suggest a timeline or availability. 6, thanks.
That's super practical. It takes the awkwardness out of the cold outreach.
It really does. It frames it as a professional, value-driven exchange.
And the long-term goal here is like compound interest for your career.
Beautifully put, yes. Which means making it a ritual.
Right.
Aim for maybe one genuine coffee chat, virtual or in-person per month. Just one.
That sounds doable.
And for a real edge, think about pursuing your professional passions publicly.
How so?
Maybe host Twitter spaces on your niche topic.
Yeah.
Or write a small weekly email newsletter about trends in your field. Become known for your expertise.
Be a thought leader, even in a small way.
Exactly. Build that public profile. But even with all this maintenance, you're still going to face rejection sometimes. The job hunt can be tough.
Which leads us to the mindset piece, right? The unbreakable mindset.
Absolutely essential. We talked about the pursuit of happiness. The core lesson isn't about money. It's that persistence, that grit, especially when things get tough.
You need resilience.
You do. And that grit needs fuel. It needs purpose. This connects back to Simon Sinek's big idea.
Well, why?
People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to articulate, first to yourself and then to others, why this work matters to you. How does this role fit your larger professional mission?
That why provides the motivation when you get knocked down.
It does. And you can strengthen that inner resilience with daily rituals. The sources suggest a couple of simple but powerful ones.
Like
gratitude journaling. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just noting down 3 specific wins, learnings, or things you're grateful for each day. Takes 2 minutes.
Okay. And the other?
Visualization. Spend 5 minutes each day vividly picturing success. Not just vaguely hoping, but actually imagining yourself nailing the interview, getting the offer, thriving in the role.
Small actions, big cumulative impact on mindset.
That's the idea. Building mental steel over time.
Okay, so we have the tools, the research, the networking, the mindset. Are there any final, like, cutting-edge hacks to really get that 1% edge?
There are a couple that stood out. First, keep using that AI-powered prep right up to the last minute. Simulate final round questions. Practice handling curveballs.
Laser sharp, got.
Second, master the follow-up. That email within 24 hours of an interview. It's critical.
But not just a simple, thanks for your time, right?
Definitely not. Korn Ferry's advice is great here.
Yep.
Take any points from the interview that were maybe a bit vague or unfinished and use the follow-up to add precision and value.
So offer a specific thought or solution.
Yes. If you discussed a challenge, maybe say, following up on our conversation about scaling the platform, I was thinking more, and here's a potential approach for tackling why, building on the resources we discussed. show you're still thinking about their problems.
That's proactive, adds real value even after the interview is over.
Huge value. And underlying all of this, a final ethical note that came up, even referencing films like Lucky Bhaskar, implicitly integrity matters.
Honesty and consistency.
They pay dividends in the long run. In your networking, your resume, your follow-up, be authentic, be reliable. That builds trust, which is the foundation of any successful career.
So putting it all together, this isn't just a checklist you run through once?
Not at all. This is your career operating system. An OS needs regular updates, regular maintenance.
It's not a one-read wonder.
No, it requires continuous effort. Update that living portfolio, your resume, your metrics quarterly.
Commit to maybe one networking chat weekly or bi-weekly.
Practice mock interviews, even just mentally running through star stories monthly. Keep the skills sharp.
That systematic approach turns the job search from this big, scary event into just a continuous growth process.
Exactly. It builds momentum and confidence over time.
And it circles back to that powerful line from Chris Gardner's story. Don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something.
That dream job isn't about luck. It's about being prepared, being persistent, and feeling unstoppable because you've done the work.
You are the blueprint in action.
Precisely. Which brings us to our final thought, something for you to really chew on.
Okay, let's hear it.
The sources consistently emphasize tracking feedback, logging wins and failures in a journal, and updating that resume quarterly.
Yeah.
If you genuinely commit to that marathon approach, if you continuously document your results, your setbacks, your quantified improvements,
Right.
what will that journal, your personal record of resilience, grit, and growth actually look like 10 years from now?
Wow.
And how will that document become your ultimate, undeniable proof of potential down the road?